Hey, this is Pete, or Kenshin1913.
And Rob, or Mr. Good Times.
Mr. Good Times and myself are reviewing the third season of Game of Thrones.
Hell's Bells.
Oh yeah, and the first episode is called Valar Dohaeris.
I think it's Dohaeris.
Yeah, I can't pronounce High Valerian. What are you gonna do? So this is the first season of the first episode of the third season, and it's gonna, and you know what? They kicked it off with a bang. All right, let's
a good start. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get into it. All right, Sam, he's walking.
Really picked up right where we left off.
Literally picked up where we left off. He's walking away from the White Walkers that he encountered last episode or season.
He's actually running.
Kind of running, and he sees a night watch, and the guy is headless, and he's got his head in his lap, which is pretty crazy. And then Sam's like, "Oh man!" And then a White Walker comes in and tries to get him, and the Night's Watch comes in and burns him. Yeah. And they kind of save him.
That's how you kill those zombies.
Yeah,
that's how you kill winter zombies. Yeah, with the fire.
It's with fire, and hopefully with more things. But so far, fire's pretty good thing.
That was good.
And so the start of the episode, Mormont comes in. He's like, "Oh, did you send the Ravens?
You have one job, darling.
One thing." And
that dresses him down a bit.
Can't goddamn do it. So then we go into the opening, which I just want to talk about just a tiny bit. Is you have the opening, dun, 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 and it goes over, and you see Winterfell. It's burnt up. There's no sizzle
like
there.
Smoke coming from it.
Yeah, I love that, and I love and then they're showing all the different places, and then they go over to this other area called Astapor, which we'll get into later. Which is the new area for Dany. Yeah. So let's get into it. We go.
Wild. So let me ask you this, Pete.
Yeah.
What did you like about the episode? Did you like the fact that they kind of, to me, they kind of cleaned up the second season.
Yeah.
And sprouted seedlings for new storylines.
Yeah, I
enjoyed that about it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of shit is going to happen.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of stuff. Yeah.
We try not
we both read the book.
We try not to do
spoilers,
but we know there's some good shit is going to happen.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things, a lot of extreme things going to happen this season.
A lot of characters are changed for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time. It's going to be pretty sweet.
It is going to be sweet.
Yeah.
And I also enjoyed the way we get to meet a lot of new characters.
Yeah, like this new character, John. He's going to meet the wildlings. Yep. They're bringing him the Mance Raider, and he goes in and he's talking with this guy, and he's like, "Yeah, you're the king beyond the wall," and he bows down to him, and then he's like, "You can't bow down to me. I'm not the fucking king." And then the guy Mance Raider comes by. Yeah. And Mance Raider, he's played by
an actor named Syrian
Hands or Hines or something like that.
Hines.
Yeah, and he's pretty famous. He's been in HBO's Rome and Harry Potter and all that. And he is Mance Raider, the king beyond the wall, and the guy that John, former Night's Watch, and a guy John. The guy John was kind of thinking was the king. His name is Tormund Giantsbane, and he's this huge
kind of a lieutenant. Yeah,
and he's a monster. And he is played by Christopher Heaveshew.
Nice. He's not as big as a monster as a fucking giant.
No. They actually showed the giant, which
I wasn't sure they were going to do this season.
I thought it was really cool.
It was done well.
Yeah, I thought it was.
They looked
humongous, and they.
Almost humanly proportionate.
Yeah. I think they just. I want to say they used a dude, and then they just.
With some heavy
and bigger.
I was gonna say some heavy makeup too.
Yeah.
Maybe to make the his head looked pretty fucking big.
Mm-hmm.
And like in the books, they describe him as being really hairy still.
Yeah.
Like in the book, to me, it almost felt like they were like missing links.
Yeah.
Between former men and men. So I thought that looked neat.
Yeah, I thought just seeing them, I was like, you're doing everyone justice by showing things that like I hope that they show other creatures that should be beyond the wall. Yeah. So he tells Mance that he's turned, and
they have a nice little exchange.
Yeah, he's like, I felt bad for killing, or I had to kill the half hand this time.
Yeah.
And then we head over to King's Landing, where Bronn is about to have sex with a whore, and Pod comes in And he's like, he needs you. Tyrion needs you. And then he's like, back away. Back away. He's like, back away.
Yeah, that's a nice little injection of humor.
Yeah, I'm trying to have sex here. And you're fucking
humor and pity.
Yeah.
They're like, here's little boobs, have a laugh, and then we're going to go see an excellent scene between
Tyrion and Cersei.
Dinklage and Lena Headey. I just watched for a day.
Yeah. And they kind of have an exchange because Tyrion is finally going to see his dad after being scarred in the face.
Battle.
Yeah,
supposedly by somebody Cersei sent.
Yeah.
And we know who did it, but
one of the Kingsguard.
He was told that Cersei gave that man the orders.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it was kind of funny.
He's weary of her.
I thought it was kind of funny. I know I'm being very nerdish here, but there's a conversation, a line where she's like, "Oh, I heard you lost your nose. It isn't as bad as that." And I thought that was pretty hilarious.
That's a nod to book readers.
Yeah, because
Tyrion does lose his nose.
Yeah, he gets scarred nose right off.
But they thought like it'd be too much stupid CGI work to do.
Yeah. So they just gave him a little scar.
A fucking big scar across the face. Yeah.
So Cersei's kind of asking him, what are you doing? What are you going to be telling Dad? And he's like, whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. I'm Tyrion. And so then Bronn and the guards outside have a little exchange, and then she leaves.
A little tease of violence.
Yeah.
That we don't actually get.
Yeah, because he talks about how you guys are just like. You guys are just like fucking.
I like him mocking that.
Yeah, you guys are just like little shitheads in big suits of armor. Yeah,
that was good.
So then we head over to a guy who has 4 fingers like this, right? And we find out that Davos is still alive from the Battle of Blackwater, which is pretty awesome because he's he's a good character, hell of a character.
Yeah, and we see him get rescued, which is nice.
Yeah, and he talks with his buddy Salador Sand because
it's one of my favorite scenes. Yeah. Maybe my favorite. It's one of the favorite ones.
Yeah, they're definitely they got some chemistry. They're like
they do. They actually feel like old drinking buddies.
Yeah. You know? And he's like, you've been at 4 of my weddings, but I don't ask any favors.
Great little lines like that really make it.
Yeah, it was great.
So, and then delivered with this panache of familiarity that only you get from your life or just being a fucking talented actor.
And so Davos kind of wants to go back to Dragonstone. He's like, how's Stannis doing? And he's like, Salador's like,
he's kind of batshit crazy.
Yeah, he's kind of going a little crazy, and all he sees is the Red Woman. And he's like, bring me there. I want to kill her because she fucking killed. She was a douchebag.
The reason we all failed.
Yeah. So then he kind of, I believe he drops them off, and then we head over to Rob's camp.
Good to see them for the first time.
Yeah, in the 3rd season here, and they're marching towards Harrenhal,
which is the one.
Which is
the castle that was
that Tywin
held by Tywin for a long time
last season, yeah. And
now it's just full of dead Northernmen.
Yeah, and it's filled with dead Northernmen, and we find out that Karstark and Bolton are not very happy with Rob's leadership recently. No. And they're starting to lose a little bit of faith. So when they go into the Harrenhal and they see all these dead Northernmen, they're pretty fucking pissed off. And Catelyn's there because she's going along. She's kind of prisoner of Rob because she let Jaime go. Yep. And what is it? They see one of the Tully's bannermen, which is kind of like a slow intro into the Tullys because we're going to see them a lot this season. And she's like, "Oh no, Jason."
Somebody she knew personally.
Yeah, Jason Mallister. He's the bannerman of Tully, and he's dead there. So. And then they meet a guy named Qyburn, very, very quick. I'll just say he's played by Anton Lesser. All right, we'll hear more about him later. He's very interesting.
He ends up becoming a character.
Yeah, he's very interesting. So I don't want to give too much away. No. Anyway, so then we go back to King's Landing, where we have an excellent scene between Tyrion and Tywin.
Beautiful,
fucking great scene. He comes in, he's talking about Tyrion's like, how come you didn't come see me at all?
Yeah,
and Tywin's like. Well, I heard this. Yeah, well, he kind of says, well, Maester Pycelle said that your wounds weren't fatal or serious, so what the fuck do I need to come? And he's like, what do you want? He's like, why does everyone think I want something when I come to see them? I'm just happy to see my dad. and he's like, what do you want? And he's like, I'd like what's mine, Casterly Rock. And then Tywin just goes, fuck you, no way.
Meanest way possible. Pretty great.
And he just tells him, you killed my wife. You're a fucking joke. You got low cunning. All this
whoremonger.
Yeah, and this nasty stuff.
And then he's got to put it with the horse.
Yeah.
He does spend a lot of time with horse.
Yeah. And then so Tyrion kind of leaves and he's walking away, and then Tywin says, "Oh, one last thing." And Tyrion turns around They just don't bring that whore, and then Tyrion just turns around and keeps
walking.
I like that part.
He was going to finish.
Yeah, he's like leave me alone about the horse, all right? Yeah. Look at me. I need horse.
Yeah.
So then from there we go to Sansa and Shay, and they're sitting on the dock of the bay.
Watching the ships go to who knows.
Yeah, so they're making up stories. They're playing some stupid girl game.
Right, because Sansa's still a stupid little girl.
Yeah, she's still kind of a dumb girl.
Mid-teenager, so she's still a little girl.
And so Littlefinger comes over and is talking with her, and he's saying how he's looking to get a new, what would I call it? A new job or a new mission or whatever, and he might be able to help her out. Sansa, I mean.
Take her home, he says.
Yeah, which would be kind of interesting. Yeah. And then
if he holds it up, because Littlefinger's a fucking sketchy dude. Too.
Yeah, he is. He's sketchy.
So you always gotta
you gotta watch out for him.
You never even to this thing in the scene. Littlefinger's second in command, Roz, kind of tells Shay, who's Sansa's handmaiden.
Yeah.
Kind of watch out for her, even around him.
Yeah.
He's kind of sketchy.
Yeah, he's kind of weird.
Yeah, he's a little dirtbaggy.
Yeah, he's gonna be. He's going to be something. He's definitely going to be a big player later. So then we finally head over to, we finally head over to Dany, and we see the dragons, and they are much, much bigger. Very big.
Maybe like the size of like a dog, like a medium to small dog.
They're big. I'd say it's about the size of your dog. Yeah.
Yeah. About the size of about a 40-pound dog.
Yeah, and so they're on a ship, and they're sailing over to Astapor, which is a slave city, and the sigil, or not the sigil, but like the, what would you call it, like the
symbol.
The symbol of the city, is a harpy, all right? And they're kind of talking about how they might be able to get an army there, so that's kind of cool. And
they breed a certain army or something.
And I love the scene where he's like, they're talking about how, the Dothraki, and then they look over and they're all vomiting.
Yes.
And she's like, don't make fun of them. They're the first Dothraki who've been on the ship. I thought it was kind of funny.
So they're pioneers.
Yeah, they are. They're
pioneers.
They're vomiting pioneers everywhere.
Growing up everything.
Oh man, everywhere.
It's pretty great.
And so then we head back to Davos. He's in Dragonstone. He finally sees Stannis. Stannis looks pretty like beat down
defeated,
a little bit. Yeah, he's got a beard going.
Like he's about shaving.
Yeah. He just looks kind of sad.
Like he's at a bender.
And he's like one of Davos's like good buddies, and he just looks back and he goes, "Oh, so you're alive?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm alive."
Yeah, I'm fucking alive, dude. Come on.
And then Melisandre is kind of taunting him by saying, she's like, if you brought me with you, you would have won. He would have been on the
just like a woman trying to let him know.
And then at the end, she just whispers in his ear, and she's like, I told your son he would die a fire death. And he just takes out his knife and tries to stab her, and then he gets thrown in prison. Great scene. Good scene there. And then we go to Joffrey and Marjorie, and they're in town, right? They're going through town. And Marjorie Marjorie stops and goes into this orphanage kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she's kind of giving, she's being nice. She's actually, like, if you're watching her, you're like, this person's a fucking nice person. She's fucking giving, she gave these toys to these kids. She's giving food to them, all in the name of Joffrey, by the way, not her. And then in the end, she kind of tells the nun, she's like, if you need anything, you come directly to me, instead of, like, going to the king. It kind of shows her way of manipulating the people in a way that, I mean, it's not really, it is manipulating, but it's like, she's doing good.
Yeah. It's kind of like the way all politicians do.
Yeah.
Marjorie, as we've seen from last year, she has high aspirations.
Yeah, she does.
She doesn't want to be a queen, she wants to be the queen.
Yeah.
So, but she's almost like a politician in the sense that she
kisses babies.
Oh yeah, she shakes hands and kisses babies.
Yeah.
She has pet projects that she's gonna do.
Yeah.
All to gain favor.
Yeah. Which I think is a better way than fear, but still,
this is true.
It's still a way of manipulation.
It is, but like you said, it's you'd rather be manipulated with kindness than just why don't I just chop your nuts off?
So we go and they're having dinner, the Tyrells, which is Loras and Marjorie, and they're having dinner with Joffrey and Cersei.
Yeah.
And they kind of have like a little thing, and Joffrey's kind of like, they're talking about like. Cersei's talking about how Flea Bottom was bad, and she's like, you shouldn't be giving people. We almost got killed there, and then Joffrey's like, no, Ma, we didn't almost get killed there. Stop fucking with us in front of here. And then she's like, well, maybe if the king if you had your, she was like, well, we don't all have a king's bravery. Fucking joking at him how he ran away in the battle. And he's like,
It's nice the way he teases her, she teases him back.
Yeah.
And when I say tease, I really mean kind of trying to hurt each other's feelings.
Yeah.
It looks like Joffrey's more and more just a fucking sociopath.
Yeah. And then like the Tyrells, like while those two are mocking each other, they just kind of give a look at each other.
They're like the awkward couple on a double date when the other couple fight.
Yes.
They're
They're like, oh my god, this is gonna
great figs or whatever. The fuck
yeah. And then finally, we go to Astapor, where Dany is talking with Melisande.
Melisande.
Yeah,
she's like an interpreter.
Yeah, she's played by Nathalie Emmanuel. She's hot.
An adorable girl.
Yeah, and the slave owner guy, his name is Cransneys, and he's played by Dan Hildenbrand, and he does a good job, I think. He's a pretty good actor.
Kind of snooty.
Yeah.
He's kind of being like a Irish prick.
Like, they're talking High Valerian, it's like another language.
Yeah,
like,
Dany doesn't know, so he's obviously the interpreter.
Yeah, and she's telling them. But I love the fact that he just
he throws out little, like...
He just keeps calling her a whore.
And he just throws out, like, fucking insults at him. Yeah. And I think at one point, even the interpreter girl goes, tell her that. And he goes, no, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, you don't fucking tell them that.
Whatever they need to hear.
Yeah, and then Mormont is talking. He's like, don't they fear death? And he's like, tell that smelly old man these guys aren't men. So they're talking about the Unsullied. They're basically like Spartans.
Yeah.
The fact that they've been fighting since they have been children. They gotta kill a dog. They gotta kill a kid. They give them money to whoever.
They do this like fucking intense fucking up training.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But slave soldiers essentially.
Yeah, but they apparently very awesome, and so Dany wants to buy them. Mm-hmm. She's very interested in buying them because
she's going for the she's not quite a test drive, but she's more like she's cruising a lot.
Yeah, because Mormont is like, we're gonna need these guys to fucking take over. Yeah. And so, they're thinking about it, they're walking away talking, and all of a sudden there's this little girl, right? And she's like, and
she got a little ball.
Yeah. And so Dany's kind of taken by this little girl, and she's kind of following him. Yeah, playing with her. And all of a sudden the little girl gives her the ball, and Dany opens it up, and holy crap, there's a friggin' scorpion thing inside it. And all of a sudden some mysterious fella comes by and stabs the scorpion and kills it, and then the little girl, you find out she has blue lips like the warlocks from last season, and she just fucking runs away.
She's still pissed.
Yeah, so the warlocks
burned down that fucking house.
Still very angry. Yeah. And we find out that this man that saved Dany's life is Sir Barristan Selmy from the first season. From season 1.
Bring back.
Yeah, he's there to protect Dany and become one of her queen's guards. Yeah. So that's kind of.
He felt bad about failing at being her grandfather or great uncle.
Or no, her dad, because Aegon was her dad.
I thought Rhaegar was her dad.
No, Rhaegar was her brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
Yeah, sometimes it can be confusing who's who. But yeah, the Mad King was her dad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because they always have 3 kids.
Yeah,
and it was Rhaegar, Viserys, and her.
Yeah. Okay. Viserys and her. So that's how the episode ends. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was, let's go, I went through all the characters.
Yeah.
And let's talk about what your likes and dislikes about the episode.
I tried to throw that in there. So yeah. I don't think I disliked much. It was a really good wrap-up / startup. And I enjoyed.
I think you were telling me about how you didn't care too much about, like, in the beginning of the show, how they were doing the, showing everything from before, and then they kind of showed Banner Selmy.
Yeah. That's, like, less to do with the episode, more to do with how they promote.
Yeah. Well, I guess
because it kind of, they're just kind of just yelling at you, spoiler.
Yeah. Well, I guess they kind of have to do it, because if you didn't know, if that guy just came out of nowhere, and it's like, who the hell was he again? It's kind of nice to see the recap in the beginning of the episode. If you
just remember him, if you don't remember him in the first place, then that recap in the beginning is going to make it special when he comes up.
Yeah, I guess so.
If I have to be retold who he is, he wasn't important. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Likes and dislikes for me, I would have to say, I wouldn't say anything disliked. I did enjoy everything because it was back. I was so excited. Dislike. I don't think there's anything I dislike. I just love this show. I mean, if there's something really that comes up, I will tell you. But but all right. So new characters, Rob. Any likes or dislikes about him?
I like the way the Tormund Giants-Bane guy looks.
Yeah.
He looks a little crazy.
Yeah.
Looks a little fucked up. I enjoy him.
Yeah.
And
I'm not sure about Mance Rayder yet. I like the actor who plays him. We'll see how it goes. So far, I like me and you were talking before. I think he might be a little too old, but that's just nitpicking. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. But I think he'll do a hell of a job.
Probably.
But I do, and I love the girl who plays Melisandre. It's gonna be great.
I liked her.
I can't wait to see her more. And I love the Cransney. He's just a dick. I like it. Yeah. It's like, bam, just get him to be a dick right off the bat.
I'm a douche.
Yeah. And so, best line, best kill. Let's go with Rob. What you got? Best line.
Best line. My favorite line was Jon Snow.
He's talking to Mance Rayder.
Yeah, I think it's half truth.
Yeah. Well.
And half. I think it's a true statement that also is going to win in favor of Rand.
Yeah.
Technically trying to become a spy.
Yeah.
And so far, I mean, maybe he'll change his mind and just join them.
Yeah. Right now, as a viewer, you're probably like,
I'm assuming he's still a spy.
Yeah.
But when he says, "I want to fight for the side that fights for the living,"
yeah, great line.
Great line, and it makes you realize that like these fucking jerks playing around for an Iron Throne that really doesn't matter if fucking Armageddon's coming.
And the nice thing about that too was like he explained like Commander Mormont's kind of like his hypocrisy, and the fact that he sees that.
He's a queen.
He knew that Craster was doing this bad shit, but he just didn't do anything about it.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. My favorite line is probably from Bronn.
Yeah,
he's talking with Tyrion about how he's a knight now, and he's going to need some more money in order to be his buddy because Tyrion is kind of losing favor with him a little bit because Bronn's had a finer thing, a taste for the finer things. Yeah. There we go. So he says, "I'm a sellsword." Which means I sell my sword. I just don't loan it out to friends. So I think that was a great line, and I love the banter between those two.
It's always great. That was one of my favorite scenes. Anything with Tyrion is usually almost always a fucking great scene.
Yeah.
And then like we talked about during that scene, Davos and Salazar sign.
Just great.
They're just fucking
chemistry,
awesome
good chemistry.
They really are.
And deaths. There wasn't really many deaths that happened like literally on screen, but I will give it to Jason Mallister. He was one of the bannermen for the Tullys. I give it to him because he had a fucking arrow right through his chest. That was kind of cool.
I mean, that guy. My favorite death is gonna go to the fucking little scorpion type thing.
Yeah, not that. Because he did get crushed by the other thing. Got crushed by a knife.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk quickly about differences between book and show. Here is how this is going to work. I'm going to make an analogy for you in this episode, and we're just going to continue to use it for the rest of the season. All right, think of this show in the book, all right, like a river, one giant river. The story is the same, but the book will break off this way, and the TV show will break off this way, but they're both going to end up at the same spot.
Right. There are going to be different divergences.
Yeah, there are.
But they will get to the same point.
Like there are things that are going to be different about the book and about the show.
One of the big things is going to be character amalgamation.
Yeah, you're going to have
too many fucking characters.
Yeah, Strong Belwas to take for example.
Yeah, he's a character in the book that hangs out with Selmy.
Yeah, with Selmy, he's this huge.
And he's just not going to be because
he's probably not going to be in the show.
Any one more extra character.
Yeah.
So I understand that totally.
I understand. I like Belwas, but you know what? If you got to be like, oh man, I can't. Yeah. I'm sure that I'm sure that the creators of the show would love to have him in that.
Everybody, they'd love to have. I mean, they're nerds for the book, so I'm sure they'd love to have everybody. But
and so another thing was Rob never went to Harrenhal. Bruce Bowen kind of always had it. Don't worry about that. They're doing it in a way that Rob is because Rob eventually goes to Riverrun. All right. Right. And they're doing it in a very good way. Please, if you're a fan of the book, don't nitpick the show. Please.
No, and it's a separate thing.
Yeah.
It's based on the books, but nothing is a 100%.
Exactly. They're trying. They are trying because they are huge fans of the book. They want to stay as true as possible. But some things they just can't.
Well, some things are awesome in the book and not great on the TV show.
Yeah.
So deal with it.
And then final thing is Littlefinger doesn't like blatantly say that he's going to help Sansa. Someone else tries to help Sansa. That's
why do we need an extra character whose only sole purpose
is to help Sansa?
Is to be go-between Littlefinger and Sansa.
Yeah,
I don't need to learn another made-up name.
Yeah.
Let's just watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah. So
don't be fucking super nerd about it.
Yeah, please. I love the books.
Yeah.
I love the show, and I'm not gonna go crazy because they don't have strong Belwas. Even though I would love to see them. Maybe some other time. Anyway, so I think that's
it for Halloween.
Maybe I should. I'll
get some scars. Tiny vest.
And then just fucking talk and eat, and then that's it.
I think we should have like old Sultan swords.
I would love
that. I would picture him with that.
I would love one of those.
All right.
So this has been Pete or Kenshin1913.
Rob.
And this has been another Game of Thrones review. See ya.
Both of you.